Hi, this is the Answer Lady. Have you ever heard of a cast-on rag? It's a neat little trick that some machine knitters use to speed things along, save wear and tear on the real fabric, and also cut down on how much waste yarn you need. Have a look. I've been doing some work that requires me to cast on over and over and over. What I'm doing is testing linker devices that Jack has fixed, so we have to know that they link off. So I made myself a cast-on rag, and here's how it works. These little loops along one edge, they make it very quick. Put your tool into 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Hang them on the machine. You can pick up 3 loops on the tool and put them on 3 needles, or after you've used the rag a while, it's really easy just to do this. Poke the needles straight through the loops. 1 needle per loop. And when you get as many stitches on as you want, you don't have to use the whole rag. Bring forward the needles. Put yarn into the carriage. And just knit across. And now I could knit 2 or 3 more rows and bind off with the bind off tool. Let me show you how you go about making one of these. And by the way, ideally you would not do what I've done, which is using the same color for the rag as you do for the waste yarn. Here's how we make one of these. Cast on as usual over a few stitches, at least 10 in my opinion. 20 is what I think the rag I was working with is. Just any old cast on, E-wrap is quick. And usually I begin all the way at the left side of the bed. For the purposes of making the movie, I'm going to use a smaller piece of the bed because it's just easier to catch in the frame. Alright, I'm cast on at a normal stitch size for the yarn, knit 2 rows. 1, 2. Increase 1 on the right and decrease 1 on the left. A simple decrease will be just fine. Knit 2 rows. As soon as a claw weight will get onto the knitting, it's a help. Now it will. Increase 1 on the right, the simple increase where you just put a needle into work, and it's kind of important that you do it that way. You'll see why in a minute. Decrease 1 on the left, knit 2 rows. And we repeat that for as long as we want the cast on rag to be. Every 2 rows, another loop is formed, and that's what we will use eventually as our quickie cast on. Increase, decrease, knit 2 rows. Now when we get this off of the machine for the first time, of course you would normally bind off. Here's the side with the increases. There's a loop, loop, loop. And you can hang these on the needles pretty easily already. But after you use it a few times, it gets easier and easier because they've been weighted and they kind of stick in their loopy position. Also, some people like to kill this with steam, which will definitely keep the loops open as loops. There are some refinements. You could also work eyelets into the opposite edge so that you could put a steel rod through those eyelets as a weight if you wanted to. Just say I wanted to make a swatch. I could hang the number of stitches that I wanted in my swatch from my rag. I don't have to use them all. I think I have 30 to use, but if I only wanted to hang 20 loops, that's fine. Now you can already get a claw weight on it. That's one reason that it's helpful. But if I now knit 1 row of ravel cord, that's any slippery yarn of a contrasting color, I could then cast on my main yarn using whatever cast on I wanted, knit my swatch, boom, 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 and I would get the ability to just drop off this cast on rag by pulling the ravel cord, have a completely neat edge that's already weighted, and very little distortion on the swatch. So it's a good technique for all kinds of reasons, and you might want to knit yourself one.